We are winning. We're winning decisively with brutal efficiency, total air dominance, and an unbreakable will to accomplish the president's objectives. We stay locked on the target because here at the Department of War, that's our job. God bless our troops.
The Pentagon spent decades trying to kill it. The high-ranking generals in Washington said it was too slow, too ugly, and way too old for a modern high-tech war. They wanted sleek jets and invisible stealth, but then the A-10 Warthog showed up in the jagged mountains of Yemen, and in just 21 days, this flying tank proved everyone wrong. It didn't just survive, it turned a sophisticated missile war into a total, smoking disaster for the enemy. This is the story of what happened when the Warthog finally cut loose. March 29th, the silence at Al Dhafra Air Base is shattered as a fleet of A-10s from the 124th Fighter Wing touches down in the UAE. Their target? Shadowy mobile missile teams hiding in the deep canyons of the desert. These guys thought they were untouchable. Their tactic was simple: roll a massive launcher out of a reinforced cave, fire a high-speed missile at a ship in the ocean, and disappear back into the rocks before a satellite could even blink. For months, they were ghosts. But on April 1st, the ghosts met a predator. A US spy plane drifting miles above caught a single desperate cell phone signal coming from a narrow valley. Two Warthog pilots didn't hesitate. They punched the throttles, pushed their twin engines to the limit, and screamed toward the coordinates. They caught the launch team right in the open, caught red-handed in the middle of the desert. The pilots dived in low, the heavy titanium nose of the plane lined up perfectly. And then, the next thing you know, the gun goes... 2 seconds of fire. 260 rounds of depleted uranium. The launcher didn't just break, it practically evaporated into a cloud of dust and scrap metal. The message was sent: nowhere is safe. By April 2nd, the enemy was in a state of total panic. They flipped on every radar system they had left, desperate to find the planes before they could strike again. But the US Navy was one step ahead. They sent in the Growler electronic warfare jets first. These jets blasted the entire region with so much raw electronic energy that the enemy radar screens literally fried on the spot. The enemy was standing there completely blind in the burning sun. That's when the A-10s reappeared like ghosts. From 26 miles away, a pilot let a Maverick missile fly. It arched through the sky and slammed right into the center of a concealed fuel truck. Boom. A colossal explosion engulfed the entire site, a towering monument of roaring fire and oily black smoke that flattened everything for hundreds of feet. By April 10th, the enemy was running scared. They abandoned their multi-million-dollar trucks. They stopped using phones. They crawled deep into underground bunkers, burying themselves under tons of rock, hoping the mountains would protect them. They thought they were safe because they were hiding in the dark. They were wrong. April 13th. A silent US drone is watching a tiny camouflaged door on a hillside. The door cracks open just a few inches to let out exhaust. A Warthog had been circling in the clouds for over an hour, just waiting for that exact moment. The pilot locked his sensors onto the heat seeping out of the mountain. He didn't send a warning. He just tipped the wing, dived through the jagged mountain peaks, and let loose. Another massive explosion rocked the canyon, sealing the cave forever. The mission was over before the enemy even heard the engines. On April 15th, the A-10 pilots started playing psychological warfare. They began conducting shows of force. They would scream over enemy positions at insane speeds, just feet above the ground. The sheer, ground-shaking roar of those engines was so terrifying that enemy crews would literally jump out of their moving vehicles and run for their lives into the dunes. Once the area was empty of people, the Warthog circled back and finished the job, turning the abandoned weapons into piles of useless junk. By the end of the month, the results were nothing short of insane. 218 combat missions, 0 planes lost, 47 high-tech missile systems turned into worthless scrap metal, 9 senior commanders neutralized. The generals back in Washington are now scratching their heads, wondering why they ever tried to retire this legend. They wanted the future, but they realized that sometimes you just need a big gun and a pilot with nerves of steel. For the guys on the ground, they already know the truth. The Warthog isn't just a plane. It's the apex predator of the desert. And if you hear that, it's already too late. Want to see more videos like these? Check out my channel.